Hi, Roberto. So we have a
Hey, how
couple
are you?
people. Good. We have a couple people who have joined. So are you going to be sharing your screen or will
Yes,
you will be?
I'll be
Okay.
sharing my screen.
Okay, let me make you a host and then you should be able to.
How you doing, Ariel?
Hi, how are you?
We decided to be both here in the same room so we can support everybody who needs the support.
Okay, sounds good. So we have some attendees who have joined already, but we'll give them maybe 3 to 5 minutes to join. We had 66 people register, so that is probably about what we're anticipating today.
How many people?
We had 66 register,
Oh, wow.
but sometimes
That's
people
great.
register last minute, not realizing they had to register. So we'll see. But right now we have about 13 in here, and then we'll give them maybe 5 minutes if that's okay.
Yeah, that's fine. We're here.
Okay. For those of you who have joined already, if you want to drop in the chat what organization you're with, that would be helpful for us to kind of see what types of organizations we have in the room. Thank you for everyone who's putting your organization in the chat box. Please continue to do so if you've not already. We'll get started in about 4 minutes. Thank you. Roxana, just going to answer the question that came through in the Q&A. For the webinar format, you don't need to worry about having your camera on. At the end, when we do question and answer, you'll be able to unmute if needed.
How's everybody doing? Just checking in with everyone. Thank you for being here today. I'll be introducing Robert and ourselves, but my name is Oscar. I'm the founder and CEO of Urban Teens Exploring Technology. I may know some of you. Some of you might be new to us, so I'm really excited to be here. So if y'all can, tell us a little bit how you feeling about being here today, and what are you looking forward to learn, so we can kind of tailor it as much as we can to everything that you are doing.
Thank you. Robert, we did lose the presentation slide. We're seeing your desktop right now, just so you know.
This is one of this. Might have to stop my share. Give me 1 second.
No worries. Thank you.
Maybe because you have two
Yeah,
screens.
it's kind of messed up a little bit. Still won't be able to see the.
Perfect. Thank you. And then Oscar and Robert, I'm just going to kind of explain the Q&A and then you guys can go ahead and get started. So for all of our attendees, as you see, your camera is off and you are muted, but at the end, we will have an opportunity for question and answer. And if you raise your hand, I can give you permission to unmute. We also have the Q&A feature where you can ask questions, and we'll either answer them live or answer them in a text. And then you can also put questions in the chat box if that works best for you. But I'm sure Robert and Oscar will have some opportunity for question and answer at the end, but if anything comes up throughout, feel free to use the Q&A or the chat feature. Go ahead and get started, Robert. Thank you.
Okay. So hey everyone. So I just want to introduce myself really quickly. So my name is Robert. I'm the CTO at Urban TXT Teens Exploring Technology. I just want to give my partner Oscar a chance to introduce himself as well.
Hi, everyone. Hopefully everyone's okay. We're excited to do this presentation today. Again, Oscar from Urban Teens Exploring Technology, an organization that helps young Black and brown boys to become technology entrepreneurs in South Central Los Angeles. We have been in South Central Los Angeles for about 20 years now. So nowadays we have a lot of our alumni are part of our board, and a lot of them are going to college, and 90% of them are into STEM fields, and 100% of them graduate from high school, and 70% of those that graduate from high school go into engineering jobs at companies like Google, like Facebook, like Meta, Snapchat, and others, Microsoft, Tesla. So we're happy to be here today. Give me a second. We're trying to figure out how we see everybody. We have two monitors, so we're just trying to, so give us a couple of seconds to do that.
There we go.
Can anybody see the screen?
Yes, we can see it.
Or is there to mute him, to mute yourself?
Sorry, everyone. We had a couple of tech issues. I'm just gonna make sure we have the right screen shared. Okay. And then, okay. And then Ariel, is everyone able to see the slides?
Yes, but currently we see it in the presentation format.
Okay.
We see your notes and the next slide.
Okay. So I think this thing's a little messed up. Please give me one.
No worries, no worries.
I think to keep things simple, I'm just gonna keep it in this format. Can everyone see the slides now?
Yes, we can see
Okay,
it.
I think when it went into presentation view, it was causing some issues. So again, our organization is Urban Teens Exploring Technology, and like Oscar mentioned, we specifically focus on helping youth in the Los Angeles community, specifically revolving around technology and teaching them how to become entrepreneurs and leaders in their community. So I just wanted to give everyone a kind of a background of who we are and what we do. So jumping into today's, the structure of today and what we're going to cover. So we're going to take some time to kind of learn a little bit about what AI is, and we're going to spend some time on how to better interact with AI tools, specifically using a framework we're going to learn today. And the goal is ultimately to be able to use AI to kind of accomplish a lot of goals or tasks or specifically problems that are taking us a lot of time if we were to do them manually. After that, we'll have some time to try it out ourselves, and then we'll end off with a bit of QA and just some final tips and next steps that you can keep in mind for future use of AI. For the objectives, we want to make sure everyone today leaves having a good understanding or better understanding of AI and AI tools, specifically what they are, what they do, and how to use them. But we want to spend some time making sure that we understand how to use structured prompts in order to be able to use AI tools effectively. And part of that is by using a prompting framework. So very quickly, what is AI, right? Because I think sometimes when we mention the term AI, it can be a little ambiguous as to what we're saying or what we mean. So AI is essentially software that mimics human thinking or human interaction. Ultimately, it can understand human language. It can take in that data, that context, and generate some kind of output, some kind of response. For example, for ChatGPT, typically that's text-based responses. There are other tools like Zuno that you would use, for example, to build music and so on. So it's important to understand that a lot of these tools are using AI under the hood, and they're basically designed or created by what we call large language models, which are trained on the lots of data on the internet. That's why these models are able to do a lot of things, just because they have all this information at their fingertips. Now, what we want to make sure we know before we jump into actually using AI tools is we want to understand and utilize a prompting framework. So what we have for you today is the craft framework. There are a lot of other frameworks out there. This is just one that we use internally at TXT, and it's worked really well for us. But the purpose is when we interact with these tools, we want to make sure that we provide enough information or enough context so that the AI has enough to know what to do. And the way we do that is by piecing or chunking our prompts into separate categories. So part of that is first, we want to make sure that in your prompt, you provide context. So that's, who are you? What is your organization? What do you do? Right? In addition to that, we want to make sure we also provide the role. So this is how you want the AI to behave. For example, you might want the AI to take on the role as an experienced grant writer or an experienced researcher, right? So you want to make sure that you're telling the AI what role to take. In addition to that, we also want to be very specific as to the action we want the AI to take, right? Do we want it to summarize emails? Do we want it to create a flyer? Do we want it to generate music? Do we want it to generate videos? So you need to be very specific as to what the AI needs to do. That way it gives you better responses. We also want to let it know what kind of format we want our response in. So for example, if we're asking AI to do research, do we want it to give us a spreadsheet with all the results? Do we want it to have certain criteria, certain columns, certain information? So by telling the AI what format you want, you can specifically get whether it's a document, a spreadsheet, you can get it in the exact format that your organization needs.
So we want to stop for a little while here just to see if anybody has any questions. Ariel, before we continue.
Okay, we have no questions in the chat or the Q&A. If anyone would like to come off mute and ask a question, feel free to raise your hand.
Yeah, we want to make sure that we go through the process in a manner that we don't get anybody lost or
Yeah.
understand the content. Does anybody have anybody used just use ChatGPT at this part and maybe tell us how you're using prompting for now?
Okay, we had a hand raised for a second, but Sandy, if you still want to come off mute, go ahead and raise your hand. Feel free to also put your answer in the chat, anyone.
Ariel, is there something we have to do to be able to see everybody, or is it that you just have all cameras? Sorry, I'm just not used to not seeing people.
It's okay. So in the webinar format, only the presenters have their cameras on.
Oh, got it. Okay, that's sorry. Okay.
Sandy, I'm gonna give you you should be able to unmute now, Sandy.
Hi, sorry, am I unmuted?
Yes.
Okay. So I have used ChatGPT in the past to summarize grants when they're really, really long. But I have noticed that it's not exactly accurate. So I do still have to go back and verify that all of the information it's giving me is accurate.
Okay.
So I've used that. I also use it for like grammar correction, things like that, just to verify that like I don't have anything that's misspelled and everything is clear and everyone can understand me. But yeah, mostly
Awesome.
for that.
Thank you, Sandy. I appreciate you. Now we sent out a survey before the meeting, and we saw that 65% of you all have said that you use the basics of like AI, and I was curious if anybody can share like what are some of the basics that you know before we get into the activity that we have today? Because one of the components we want to really practice today, so you can get more accurate, so you can save time, is the prompting of AI. So I wanted to kind of hear from people what are some of the basics that you have already used, so we don't have to keep repeating the same basics.
Mhm.
Carolyn
Did have,
Lopez.
oh, go ahead.
Karen Lopez on Relay Boys and Girls Club. They said I used to construct letters, search for deadlines or grants, create policies. Awesome, great. Thank you for sharing. Anybody else? Again, we're asking to see if anybody like the basics that you've used so far. AI has so many like concepts of it that we want to help you narrow it down today, and you get the best out of the workshop today. Right. When you say Roxana Acevedo, when you say you've used it to do you said something about using it to research for grants. Um, how are you doing that? How are you using that? Are you using ChatGPT? Are you using the Copilot? How are you doing that? Thank you for speaking up because it's hard to read all the messages come through and then go back. So if you guys can, now we're participating, that'll be great.
I don't know. I got a request to unmute, but I'm not sure if the question was I don't know, asked of me.
I was asking, Roxana Acevedo.
Yeah, that's what I thought. Thank you.
Yeah. Oh, I see. Okay, sorry. We're learning how to coordinate with Ariel and also here, so we're learning how to do this. So it's great.
So,
Roxana,
Roxana said she uses like a website called spreadsheet.io.
got it. Okay, so that's where you're going. Okay. Anybody else? What are some of the basics that you've used for AI that you're currently doing? Again, we're asking that question to understand better where we're at. 65% of you answered that you use the basics, so we're trying to understand the basics that you have. Okay. I have Carolyn. As the Carolyn said, I use 5 free prompts with ChatGPT. Then I changed to other platforms like Copilot. Okay. Good stuff about Claude, but I noticed it. Yeah, Claude is an animal. So if you guys have questions about Claude, we will tell you about that. But Claude is definitely, I would say, if you're willing to get into an advanced mode of Claude and understand how to use the backend of Claude, I think that's a high level kind of undertaking. But I'm glad you're using ChatGPT, and I'm glad you're looking at using Claude. The Fiend Leak said, I have written reports, letters, copy and paste them to have a specific desired tone base. Okay. And then the Fiend, are you using prompts to do that, or how are you?
I think it's Daphne.
Daffy? Sorry.
Daphne.
And Daphne, you should be able to unmute if you'd like to answer live rather than in the chat. Daphne, it looks like you're unmuted, but I don't know if we can hear
Can you hear
you.
me? Hello?
Yes, now we
Yeah.
can hear you. Yes.
Okay,
It cut off for us.
Daphne, it looks like we're having some trouble hearing you. I think you're cut out.
the letter or report is being directed to.
Hello, Daffy. Can you repeat that for us one more time? I think you got cut off.
Hello?
Hello, Daffy?
Can you hear me?
Yes.
Okay. So what I said is I type letters or reports in Word, and then I cut and paste them into Copilot and ask for it to give me a specific desired tone based on who it's going to be directed to.
Great. Okay. 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 For letters. Okay. Great. Thank you for sharing that. I really appreciate that. And then the last one we'll take here was Sandy. Sandy Sean said, we had a workshop where we taught participants how to review your resume, which yes, great, great, and find employment opportunities in the area. Okay. And I imagine Sandy, you all used prompting to be able to do that.
Hello.
Hello.
Yes, we did.
Oh,
Sorry, I
sorry.
was
No,
typing.
we're all learning here. We're like, I'm never, sorry, I should never be in a Zoom meeting where we have to do a lot of controlling. So this is great, though. This is a good learning experience. Awesome. Okay, so we're gonna go back to the presentation. One thing I want to go back to is prompting. So prompting is really the key for you to get the best out of any AI. And that's where Robert was going to. And we have created a framework called Craft Framework. And then I would like to tell you exactly what prompting is. What prompting really does is you're basically being very curious and questioning the AI tool in order to give you exactly what you want. So, for example, if you would want a box per se, we would ask you not to just say, "Hey, ChatGPT," in this case, we're going to use ChatGPT, "Hey, ChatGPT, give me a box." What we would want to be able to do is when we want to be able to say, the color of the box, the length of the box, the size of the box. Is it a triangle box? Is it a box with four different sizes? Is it a box that resembles a building? Is it a box that resembles a boat? So it's really about giving the tool AI or ChatGPT, any of these learning language models, the exact description of what you want. A lot of times we make the mistake of thinking that ChatGPT or any tool is going to understand what we're asking it to do, and it doesn't do it. And sometimes that's where people get frustrated, where it says, AI doesn't do what it's supposed to do, or AI cannot help me, or AI doesn't understand what I'm asking it to do. In reality, I always tell people that when it comes to the models or the tools that we have with AI, that we have to understand that those tools is almost as if you're training a little puppy, a little dog, right? If you ever have owned a dog, you first want to be able to train the dog where the kitchen is at, where the entrance to the house is at, where does it go pee, where can it jump, where can I jump, where can I lay down, where the house is at. And that's how we have to think about AI in a very similar way, where it doesn't know anything yet until you start training it, until you start giving it the roles and you start giving it information and you start giving it specifics. It almost becomes also your like right hand person or left hand person, but it's just really your assistance on how it's going to assist you with every task you can possibly have. Um, Now, in the craft, everybody can see this right now. In the craft framework, we have context. The context is the information you want to give it the background, the information that you're trying to really do with the tool itself. The second part to this framework is the role. This is where it gets really tricky, right? So, and I'm gonna ask some questions because I like our TXT. We do a lot of interactive workshops, and I believe that's the best way to learn. In terms of the role, if you were writing a grant right now, a lot of people ask about grants. If you're writing a grant, help me, give me the best like role of your ideal person, individual that can write grants for you.
Whoever would like to respond, just go ahead and raise your hand.
This is Erta Robinson.
Yeah, you should be able to unmute Eartha.
Hi, I'm looking for not just a grant writer, but like in a development manager, someone who writes grants, someone who identifies with private funding, federal funding, who has a history of grant writing and fundraising at the same time. So I'm looking for not just that grant writer, but a package
Yes.
of a fundraising person and grant writing person all in
Correct.
one.
Correct. Correct. Perfect. That's a perfect kind of segue, right? So I heard three different things, right? Someone who can do fundraising, someone who can do private, someone who can write. And those are a great start. When we write roles and we're prompting in this whole entire prompt, this paragraph, we want to specify to the prompt. In this case, for you, Rita, we would have to specify something like, I want a private grant writer who has experience with corporations such as Google, such as Meta, who has 20 years experience, and you're defining the role in your prompt in order for AI, whatever tool you're using. For the sake of this conversation, I'm gonna use ChatGPT, but you would have to be very specific with that role that you want. Now, sometimes a mistake that I made is that I'll say something like, I want somebody with experience in corporate writing, but I also want experience with kids with teenagers. In your prompt, you want to do one or the other. The more specific you are, the better your assistant, in this case, ChatGPT, can help you with writing those grants or finding those grants that you want. So just keep that in mind for the role component. Yes, you have to be detailed in your ask. Now, somebody else, what about if you're what about if you're doing a gala and you want to see a strategy before a gala? What would your role person be like? Anybody can help me with that? You remember, you're trying to do a gala and you want to raise money for through the gala. What would your prompt be in order for you to get like a write up for a grant you're gonna write for this gala? How would you do the role of this person?
Same thing, go ahead and raise your hand, anyone who would like to come off mute.
Event planner.
Daphne, the event planner. Okay, can you give me more details,
Daphne.
Daphne? This is good.
Well, someone who's done organizing of major events, someone who, knows how to pull in vendors and set up a budget, such as that, maybe have different entertainment at the event.
Yes. So if you were to, I guess, describe this person, how would you do that in like three sentences? Oh, I like Erta Robinson mentioned celebrity event planner with connections. Okay, yeah, yeah. I like that. Can you tell us more? Make sure I pronounce your name right, Erta Robinson.
Yeah. Um, am I on mute? I don't know.
We
can
can hear
hear
you.
you, yeah.
Yes, thank you for
Oh,
participating.
okay. No, there are people who are in the business of that's all that they do, and they've been doing
Yes.
it for a very long time.
Yes.
And they service, because of their history, they have a
Mhm.
roster that's quite large, meaning that they're in contact with the florist, they're in contact with the governor's office, they have people, all around. I think they cast a wider net,
Yeah.
your legacy of the time that you've been doing that. So you want somebody seasoned. And
Yes.
when I say celebrity, I mean someone seasoned.
What do you mean by season? If I was ChatGPT, I would be asking you, what do you mean by season? Give me what season means to you.
20 years to 30 years of experience.
Yes. And that's what prompting is, right? Where Erta just Robinson just mentioned, she's giving me the specific role. I want this person act as a person who has 20-year experience in celebrity event planner who has connections with celebrities like, I don't know, Michael Jordan, or celebrities like I don't know, Beyonce, Jay-Z, and who has written grants based on celebrities only. So you want to be specific what kind of person you're looking for in this role in the prompting. And what happens is then ChatGPT understands the mentality or the language or the information behind it and will write something based on that category. So the more specific you are with the role, the better results you're going to get with any of these tools. So that was a good for the role. And then we go to the A, which is A of craft, or I mean, A of action. And A really means a specific task you want to write. So we have two different examples. One example was the actual event planning itself. So perhaps like someone who knows how to event plan, the action would be create me a budget or a draft for an event of a gala that's going to maybe invite 200 people. So the action is very key. Or if it's a celebrity, the action has to be key. Help me come up with pitches, or the action will be the pitches to invite 5 celebrities of this category. And then that's kind of like the way the action is a very specific task that you want it to do. Um, and then the last one is the format, like the format, the response, the what you're looking for. How you want this back in, what kind of format you want. Is it a PDF? Is it a PowerPoint presentation? Is it a website you want? Like, what is the format you want this concept to come out? And then the last one, of course, is like the tone. And tone is just the sound of it, like how you want this to be written, especially if it's for a grant. What would the tones? Is it friendly? Is it a storytelling kind of format? Is it a very bold? Is it like business writing that you want? So what is the tone that you want? So that's how you draft a prompt. And we can't stop emphasizing the importance of prompting. Prompting takes practice. I can't stop saying that to enough people, where prompting is something you're going to have to iterate and do over and over again until you get better at it. But the more you do it in this context, which is craft, the context, the role, the action, the form, and the tone, the more you do it that way, the better your tool, in this case, ChatGPT, is going to get. Anything you want to add, Robert?
And I think the only thing that I'll add is prompting is an iterative process. So even though we're able to write a really good prompt in the beginning, always keep in mind that it might take one or two or maybe a couple of tries before you really nail down the prompt. So don't be afraid of reiterating your prompts. Maybe the first time you're not as detailed and you missed maybe a specific date that you needed to add in the grant. So just remember that it's not something that ends with the first prompt. You might have to create a different iteration, right?
So we are going to give you some time. So we're going to go back. I imagine you cannot see my screen right now because I'm looking at our screen for where the instructions are at. We're going to give you some chance, an opportunity for you to come up with a flyer. Now, the exercise of the flyer is more for you to understand, for you to practice prompting while we're here, and we can help you with a prompt. Okay, we're gonna give you an exercise, and the exercise is the following. Create a flyer that is going to invite teenagers to the first ever AI virtual world protest or organized in Minecraft. And I'm gonna put it in a chat. And if anybody has questions, we can go from there. Oh, good questions. Thank you for we love questions at TXT. So if you ask us questions, we can help more. Do all the apps to use AI come at a cost? So most apps is zero cost for the basic usage. So most apps are zero cost. You can start learning how to use them at zero cost. If you want superpowers, I would call them superpowers usage. And sometimes superpowers usage might mean inputting your budget in it, or inputting some type of letter that you have for it to be able to read. Sometimes those are, they are in app, what they call in-app payments. So you have to pay a little bit more to do that. What I've seen is sometimes it's between $15 a month all the way to like $50 a month. So it depends on what features you're using in order for everyone to use AI or the tools that AI has. Thank you for that question. If we would like to do the exercise where everybody creates a flyer so we can share, or you can ask questions, because really the prompting part is what really when we practice today is how do we prompt and how do we get better at prompting. Once you get prompting down, we guarantee that you're going to have so much fun with the tools like ChatGPT and everything else, because the prompting part is really what's going to give you the power. We have been able to write grants with it That way, we're being able to create new flyers, be able to hire people, and it's prominent. We actually have cut down on the time that we use in our staff to be able to do that in this moment in time. So the prompt is really, really useful. The flyer or the exercise that we're giving you, create a flyer that is going to invite teenagers to first ever AI virtual world protest. It's a protest, like we're protesting. We're going to do this flyer to invite teenagers. We want to see how you get it done, and we want to be able to help you with that prompt. So, does anybody here have any question about using ChatGPT to be able to do this? And ChatGPT should be able to do this for you. And today we want to practice this. Does anybody have questions about that?
Do you
Or
mind
has,
going back to the slide so they can see the prompt again? Thank you.
so if you need any help with opening up ChatGPT or getting to ChatGPT, let us know so we can walk you through it. You do have to open an account to be able to use it if you don't already have one. You have to be able to open an account. And then we want you to create a flyer, and we want you to use the craft method, right? And we're going to give you about 15 minutes to do this. And then we'll be here to answer questions. Let us know what you're having a hard time with or what you need help with. But we want to look at your prompts so we can help you with the prompts.
Okay.
So, Robert and Oscar, sorry, I think when you're looking at Zoom, we're just looking at your desktop. So if you don't mind staying on the slides.
Oh, okay.
Right now,
So
we just see your desktop.
okay, so I guess
Or if
just
you want to
maybe.
stop sharing while you are looking at the Zoom
Well, I think
window.
what I'm worried about, Ariel, if you can help us, is what I'm worried about not seeing their questions. If there's any questions, so maybe you can tell us the questions while we have
Yeah,
our.
I'll let you know if there's
Okay,
questions.
perfect,
Yeah.
awesome.
So just to clarify, for a few minutes, everyone's going to try to do the flyer with this prompt using ChatGPT. And then if they have any questions, either raise your hand, put it in the chat box, or put it in the Q&A feature.
Yes, but just to clarify, it's there. This is not the prompt. This what we're showing you right now. That is not a prompt. That is the exercise of what you need to prompt ChatGPT to create this flyer for you. We're just giving you the parameters that you want to create a flyer for teenagers, right? They're going to come to an AI virtual world, a protest in Minecraft. But then you're going to have to prompt ChatGPT to give you a flyer that represents this, so you can engage and invite the teenagers to your event.
Got it. Thank you. And if anyone has questions, feel free to raise your hand. I'll give you permission to unmute, put it in the chat, or put it in the Q&A.
I think there was a question about downloading Minecraft. So you don't have to download Minecraft. Basically, what we're doing is we're going to head over to ChatGPT and we're going to prompt ChatGPT to create us a flyer around these parameters. Now, if you need help getting to ChatGPT and just kind of going through that process, let us know. We're more than happy to walk you through it.
Isaac, can you clarify, is ChatGPT not loading the image or you're saying to submit it here? And I'm gonna ask you to unmute. Oh, to submit it here. I don't think you need to submit it here. I think we're just doing it and then we'll have a chance to share.
Ariel, so we can see that. Is there a way they can share their screen so we can see it?
Yeah, if anyone wants to share, they can raise their hand and I can give them access to share.
Awesome, that'd be great. So then we can have
Yeah.
we have a little gift
Uh,
for the best one. So just FYI,
Oh, awesome. Okay.
we didn't say
Okay.
that at first, but we have a little gift.
Okay. Isaac, would you like me to have you share if you'd like to? Yes. Okay. 1 second.
Shannon.
And then Isaac's just going to become a host shortly, and then I can, okay. Okay, Oscar, if you want, and Robert, if you want to stop sharing, and then Isaac should be able to share his image. Go ahead, Isaac.
All right, Isaac, that's great. Isaac, can you read us or can you put your prompt on the chat room so everybody can see how you prompted the
Um, so what I did, I guess I probably cheated a little bit. So I
that's
put the
fine.
question in there, right? And then after I told asked Chat GPT to use a teenager's lived experience, their perspective.
Mhm,
And
mhm.
also the protest was about violence in the game and how it impacts teenagers' mental health.
Yeah, okay, I like that. So
Mm.
Isaac, yeah, you did cheat a little bit. We're not anti-cheating. Actually, I think cheating is great, but because you did that part, you won't get the results that you actually want.
Uh,
Right? So we want you to use the model craft. So then my challenge to you would be, how do you focus on one specific area of this flyer so you can get the audience, which is the teenagers, attracted to this? Because remember, teenagers right now, if you're giving this flyer, that's too much for them to read, right? It's a lot for them to actually take in. But how would you modify that using the craft prompt? Because you want to learn how to do prompting, because
yeah.
if not, eventually AI is going to do its own thing and won't give you what you actually want, if that makes any sense.
Yes,
It's
yes.
going to think for you, and we don't ever want AI to think for us. Because
Okay.
then that's where we start into some other talks about. But we believe at to our Urban TXT, we teach everybody that humans are way smarter than AI, and that AI should never be doing the thinking for us, in order for us to stay on top of AI. So I would say I would challenge you, maybe modify this with using craft and be specific to what you want to see that you believe is going to attract the kids.
Okay. Thank you. Thank you. Appreciate your feedback.
Awesome. This is awesome. But this is great. This is awesome.
And then we did have Costa put the link to his.
Cool.
We did have Costa put the link to his in the chat as well and provided his prompt.
Can Costa share instead of us clicking this link, because it looks like it's taking
Here,
so long.
I can click I can share his.
Yeah, sorry, I don't trust
Oh,
LimeWire.
oh,
Okay.
that looks
Oh,
cool.
that's awesome.
That looks very cool.
Costa,
And then
can you talk to us about how you thought about it and how you went through it?
Um, I don't know. Just got the task and pasted it into ChatGPT and asked it
Mm.
to make it better, and then generated an image.
Okay, so did you prompt it or did you ask ChatGPT to create a prompt for you?
Well, I asked to create a prompt first, and
Oh, okay.
then
Yeah,
that's what I got.
got it. Okay. So again, I would challenge you, per se, if you want to, like, I think this is really a good start. Like, this is a really good flyer. But let's say that you wanted to just create a flyer that is staged with like backgrounds of Los Angeles per se, right? How would you, I would say, challenge yourself to prompt it in that same model we gave you, the craft the craft model, so you can prompt it with the context, the type, and maybe even the name of your organization in there. So a lot of things that we would like to like give you kind of warnings with the AI is that if you don't start with the prompt yourself first, AI will start doing the thinking for you and create perhaps something way different than you have imagined. It's almost like giving a designer who doesn't know your organization access to anything they want to create, and they'll give it to you and not come out with something that you're satisfied with. So that's what we say. Start with the prompt first, like create your own prompt, and then let ChatGPT see what it comes up with so you can continue learning how to prompt. And the more you get prompting down, the more you practice with prompting, the better you will get at like writing the grants, the better results you're gonna get with like getting the money that you need from grants because ChatGPT is gonna understand the way you think in order for it to adjust to what your needs are, if that makes any sense. But this is looking good. Then we have Sandy.
Yeah, so I'll share Sandy's. I'll share the screen for Sandy's 1 second. Okay, 1 second. I'm just going to share my screen for Sandy's. Okay. You should be able to see that now.
Awesome. And now, if you notice, this is great, Sandy. Can you tell us how you did it? What was your process like? Like, what was your prompt at first?
So I just asked it to make it inviting to like teenagers. I gave it something to protest about. I wasn't really sure what we were
Mm,
protesting.
yeah.
The thing is that the first version that it gave me was really similar to the ones that were previously shared, and I just thought it was
Yes.
too dark and it was really, really busy. So then I asked it, like, make it a little brighter, make it a little bit more concise, like just I don't know, make it less busy
Yes.
and make it interesting to children so it'll keep their interest and it won't be like this is really overwhelming.
Yeah.
So it gave me this.
Well,
And I ran out of free like image
oh, okay. Yeah.
creation. So
Yep.
I was like, well, this
Good.
is what it is. This is what we're
Yes.
sharing.
You have touched on some points that we wanted to bring up, and I think this is why we want everybody to try prompting themselves first instead of ChatGPT doing it, because you mentioned two major things. We gotta
We're
go
not,
back to sharing.
yeah, let's go back and share.
So Sandy, we're gonna mention some things in context. So Sandy, if everybody was hearing what Sandy said, she said that the first one it gave them was the it was similar to other ones that people had created. That's why we always say that AI is really, really dumb. Like AI is the most dumbest thing you can ever use, because it will give you the same components that everybody else in the world is using unless you prompt it specifically the way you believe your context is, then it's going to give you something different. And I think that that's where many different people are going to kind of like bump heads with each other because everything's going to look the same. So everybody's going to have the same flyer, everybody's going to have the same information, everybody's going to have the same thing because prompting is not going to be practiced upon. And then Sandy mentioned the second thing we want to say is it has to give it a context. Like, what are we protesting? Like, what are we protesting? And I think that was very key. So if you look at Kraft, she gave it context. I'm protesting X, Y, and Z. Like this is what we're protesting, right? And the action that they were doing. So, and then the tone. So remember that if we just say, oh, a flyer for AI, a flyer for against AI and the Minecraft, 10 or 60 of you are going to have the same flyer. In order for it not to have the same flyer, you need to give it a context. You need to ask it what type of graphic designer you're gonna be. You need to be able to tell it what kind of protest you're gonna be. Like you gotta be able to say it's gonna be a PDF or is it gonna be a Canvas kind of format. And the tone of it is gonna be a happy one, a sad one, the colors it's gonna use, and you wanna basically feed that to ChatGPT. Now, the awesome part I think about AI is that this is all your imagination. You're imagining this flyer, right? So you now have control how this is going to look like. So thank you for showing that. Sandy, I appreciate that. I would say the only challenge for Sandy would be, Sandy, can you add your logo for your organization? I mean, that's going to be a cool little challenge to have. Any questions so far?
We have one more share. Give me 1 second. I'm going to share my screen. It's just loading. Oh, and this one we can see the prompt actually, so that's helpful. Can you all see my screen?
Oh, look at this. This is way different. So we can be able to see the prompt. Who is the person that did this one?
This was Maurice.
Maurice. Awesome, Maurice.
So
ChatGPT.
can you see the image as well? Okay,
Yeah.
you can.
Maurice, I like how you say please. Can you please provide? That's great. I can't see that. I'm not. Thank you, Isaac. Maurice, can you put a prompt in the chat room so we can all
It looks
see?
like this was the prompt here, I believe.
Yeah, no, but I can't see. It's too small for me to actually see
Oh,
it.
got it here. I can
Like
zoom
it's
in.
way too small. There it goes.
Oh,
Yeah,
thank
there.
you.
Yeah, there's no way I could see that. Um.
Oh, sorry about that. So it's Gerald, not Maurice.
Oh, and Gerald. Okay. Oh my gosh.
Right.
Okay,
Yeah.
Gerald.
Oh, I'm sorry. My name is Gerald. I happen to use somebody's
Oh.
No worries, no worries. It
but
happened.
so that's what I put in there.
Yeah, this is awesome that you did it. Please provide a simple flyer I like how you said simple to first ever AI virtual world processing Minecraft presents to the freedom to play. Okay, so I want to break this down a little bit more. No, 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 don't zoom out. I can't. Oh, can we just drop it on the chat room, your prompt, please? It's just we can't, so we can help you.
Okay, now what?
And then drop it in the chat room.
Oh, I don't know how to do that.
Oh,
Oh, there it goes.
we
You
got
got
it.
it.
Thank you.
Thank you, Ariel. Okay. So this is great. I mean, if you notice, everybody notices the flyer is very different from everyone else's. So that starts, and it's most likely because Gerald typed out his own prompt first instead of asking ChatGPT to write a prompt for them. So if you ask ChatGPT or any AI tool to write the prompt for you, it's going to give you the same prompt as everybody else in the world. But if you start teaching it how to think and how to draw and how to do things, then it's going to do it for you.
Look at do that.
Now, the only thing, Gerald, or several things I would say, Gerald, if you want to improve this, if you wanted to improve that, I would put the role, the person's role. So I would put the role. So when you say, please provide a simple flyer, before that, I would say something like, act as an engineer who knows how to design Minecraft flyers and create a flyer for teenagers. And then I would even like be specific on what type of teenagers you want them to be, right? Who are the teenagers? What age do they have? Where do they come from? And then your flyer can improve. So I would almost challenge you to rewrite your prompt if you want and add a little more specific because yours looks very, very different from everybody else's. So that would be something that I would like encourage you to do.
And we have another one in the chat. Let me get that one pulled up here
Ooh, I
from
like Danielle's
Danielle.
prompt. Hopefully the prompting idea is getting like in your head because that's really what the power of AI is in the prompting. And obviously, there's more things we can talk about, but we only have about an hour, maybe 45 minutes to discuss. Oh, all right. All right. I think this is awesome. Is this Danielle or Daniel? Danielle? I'm sorry, you got to help me with pronunciation.
Yeah, Danielle. And Danielle can unmute now. And she also put her prompt in the chat.
Perfect. Thank you.
Yeah, I asked what it is first. Like, what is an AI? So I didn't really know what it was. I asked ChatGPT, what is it? And then I developed the prompt.
You asked what it was what?
What is an AI virtual Minecraft? Because I didn't really know what it was.
Oh.
Gotcha.
And then when it told me what it was, and it asked me, is this a real event, or are you, I don't know
Oh.
what it asked me. And then I put, well, you guys want me to do it for a training. And then and then it developed based on my prompt.
I love what you did. I love,
Something to that.
I love that you were able to ask if you don't know something. I think that's the first level. If you don't know something, that's where you can use ChatGPT or any AI tool to ask what is something I don't understand. That's the first step.
Mhm.
But to level up a little more is the second part, which what you did. You wrote your prompt and you
Mhm.
and you and you wanted to make sure you got what you are imagining in your mind. Can you go back to the flyer?
Yes, 1 second.
And I want to point some things out because this is a good example of like when you start prompting things differently. Danielle, she mentioned she was very specific in her flyer. She mentioned that it was in South LA. So she mentioned South LA. So, but I don't see that oh yeah, it does. At LA City Hall grass. That's specific. That's why this is amazing, Danielle. Good job.
Oh, thank you.
No, this is great. Like again, we keep repeating the part where it's the tone, right? The context. In this case, the context is it's in South LA, or it's people from South LA. And also we are going to be at City Hall, right? Now imagine how much time Danielle has already saved by in less than 5 minutes, she created a flyer. Now she
Mm.
can adjust it, right? Whereas maybe a year ago or 2 years ago, I'm not sure. For us, it was 3 years ago at Urban TXT, we had to have a graphic designer. We had to go explain to them. We had to put it on Asana. We have to give it images, come on back with images, and do all that, right? And perhaps only one person could create flyers. Now each director of the programs can create their own flyers, and they can have the same style of flyers as long as we all agree on. But this is great. I also love the nail that you said the training, and they want us to develop this flyer. And then you said it was for wellness advocacy. So
Mhm.
because Danielle said wellness advocacy, there's a young person holding a poster that says wellness is justice, our voice, our future. Now, what I would recommend to Danielle if I wanted to improve it is if she was protesting for something in South LA and wellness, to put her tagline or be specific about her pictures
Mm.
or her images,
Mm.
and then the date and all that, and then I love that you put build, speak, and lead as well.
Okay, thank you.
Awesome. Any questions for any of the people that did the flyer? Um, or any questions for us? I know we have like 5 minutes, so I want to make sure we close with some. Danielle, you
I think
get
it
a
was
chance?
really great. Because like, can you guys hear me?
Yes,
Yes.
yes.
Oh, sorry, a call came. It was really great because like it giving it more details and then seeing how the flyer. I mean, it was like a communication. Like I went back and forth with ChatGPT before it developed the flyer. But eventually it got to like the image, but like my flyers before were not looking like this. So it was really good. It put everything together based on what it knows I usually like, and then some of the new prompts, and then it kind of merged it.
Yeah. Yeah, and we would encourage everybody to keep practicing the prompts, like the craft component of it. And if you keep practicing like that, you will get faster, and actually you're gonna save a lot of time. And Danielle, what you have won today, it's the following. We're gonna give you a little stance of your organization or the organization. We're gonna 3D print it for you, but you're gonna have to come and pick it up. You're gonna have to send us your logo, and we'll 3D print it. So you can put this on your desk. You can put this someplace for participating.
Oh, thank you.
Follow up with us. Follow up with us on
Okay.
Yeah, I'll
that.
make sure to connect you all. That's a really cool
Yeah.
prize.
Oh,
And
thank you.
and then before we go, we wanted to announce that and there's two special things that we're doing for nonprofits on May 21st, which is a Thursday at 5 p.m. We want to do another training, but in person, specifically more towards your organization. It's going to be a 2 hours kind of training. So that's, we're inviting everybody to do that. Uh, oh, somebody said my brother participated in TXT. Thank you for saying this. Sorry. I'm excited when I saw that. So if you want to be part of that workshop, please email us. The email, I'll put it here on our message. And it's going to be May 21st, 5 p.m. And we want to do it in person because it just works a lot better for us in person, and also just like hand holding you through the process. And during that workshop, we want you to come with a project that you want to do, whether it's a grant you're looking at, or whether it's a flyer that you specifically want to do for your specific organization. So email us, we'll send you the registration link for that day. The second thing we want to announce is that if you're working with social media, we do have a free tool for nonprofits that if you want to use for social media that is AI based. It's going to help you get better social media outcomes. Then we can also provide that for you as well. So again, email us and we can give you more access to that. If you have a social media person that's helping you with it, it's going to cut, I would say, at least by 70% of their time coming up with ideas and the strategy behind your social media. So that, yes, my email is on the chat room, and also Ariel can send that out, but it's in the chat room. It's oscar@urbantxt.com.
And then someone asked, do you need to bring laptops?
You do not need to bring laptops. We'll provide the laptops for you. Just bring yourself and be excited about learning, and we'll provide that information for you. We will be only accepting like 15 people, so make sure you only because we want to really focus on your organization and really help you with whatever you're doing with AI and really get you there. So we want to make sure we help you with that. Sign me up, Danielle. Thank you, Danielle. Email us and we'll sign you up. Any other questions? I know it's already 2 o'clock, so I want to be respectful of time. Thank you, Robert. Thank
Yeah.
you, Ariel. But we're willing to answer any question. We'll stay here a little bit longer for those of you who want to stay a little longer, and we can answer any more questions. Hopefully, this is being
Thank you
helpful.
both so much for your time today. I think it was really helpful. So thank you. If anyone has questions, feel free to put it in the chat,
Yeah.
Q&A, or raise your hand and you can unmute.
Yeah, we'll stay here for another 5 minutes. I want to just be respectful of everybody else's time in case people got to go. People got to go.
I do have a question. Um, because I've been like trying to use ChatGPT to help with grant writing, and you mentioned that. Because before I used ChatGPT, I was getting all my grants. And then now that I've been using ChatGPT, I seem to not get any grants. So I'm trying to figure out
Yeah.
what the heck that's about.
Yeah. How did you transition to using ChatGPT? Help me understand that first.
How?
Yeah, so what it means is like, did you tell ChatGPT, here's the grant, and then write it for me? Or how did you go from actually writing your grants and then you decided to have ChatGPT do it for you? What was that transition like? What were you doing? The more you tell me, the more I can understand maybe what would have happened.
Okay. No, well, I will give it what the grant is and then also what our programs are. And then I go through each question one by one. And I put in what we want, like what we want to do. And then it like kind of corrects it and gives me like the better way to write it or
Mhm.
what it thinks is the better way to write it.
Yeah, what it thinks, yeah.
But what I'm seeing is I don't know if it's like watering it down or like making it not as impactful. I don't know what it's doing. But it's changing some stuff, the wording, the writing. So I don't know. Yeah. So that's kind of how I do it.
Yeah.
Yeah, so yeah, that definitely happens a lot. And ways to improve that would be by giving ChatGPT samples or examples of grants you've written before. I think what's happening is ChatGPT
Okay.
is trying to decide for you what the best language is. For us at TXT, the way we typically do it is we'll give it some examples of grants we know worked for us in the past, and we ask it to use the similar language. That way, like everything stays consistent and it's not like random language being used all over the place. Because typically AI will try to do that. Think of ChatGPT or AI as like an eager assistant that just wants to make you happy and it's
Yeah.
going to give you whatever it can give you as fast as possible. So we
Mm.
just have to tell it to slow down. We have to tell ChatGPT, hey, this is how we write grants typically. This is the language we use for this new grant. Let's stick to that same language.
Yeah. And then
Okay.
and then continue using the prompt that we give, the framework of craft,
Mm-hmm.
to continue writing those grants. So each grant should have that prompting, the context of it, which in this case with the context would be the type of grant you're writing, the type of language you're using, the type of tone that you're using, in order for it to continue helping you with grant writing at the same time.
Okay.
Yeah, but I think and then always don't forget to always review it,
Mhm.
right?
Mhm.
And
Yes.
if it's giving you something different than you thought it was going to give you, it's all about the prompting because eventually it's going to learn from you.
Hmm.
Yeah.
Okay, that's helpful. Thank you.
No, thank you for participating.
Well, I see no other questions, no other hands raised.
No? Okay.
Thank you all so much. Oscar did share his email if you have additional questions or want to sign up for their event on the 21st. But thank you all so much.
Thank you, everyone. And thank you. And please email us if you have any questions about AI or any technology information. Have a good day.
Thank you.